What is going on, everyone? And welcome back to another About Teams video. And today, we're going to be talking about NBA. One game yesterday, preview one tonight. My Minnesota Timberwolves unfortunately came up short in this one. Dallas takes it 1-0. Game one, this series is going to be a long one. I think for the Timberwolves side, Jaden McDaniels was amazing, especially in that first half. So he's continued his excellent play, which has been a huge X factor. But, the thing that sucks is Carl and Ant had really inefficient games. Ant took 12 of his 16 shots from three-point range. And even though he made 5, I didn't really love that. I want him to be more aggressive next game. And part of the reason why I think he was taking so many shots is because he was tired. He was trotting down the court late in the game. I think a big part of that is having to do with guarding Kyrie. So if I'm the Timberwolves, I'm looking at this game, like I talked about in the preview, the Mavericks are a whole new team since January with all their additions of like PJ Washington, Daniel Gafford. So they're a completely different team. So these two teams are kind of unfamiliar with each other in a way, which is why I was a lot more confident in the Nuggets series because those two teams play a lot. They match up well. They played in last year's playoffs, so they're familiar with each other. They know each other's games. And it's kind of an adjusting period. You're going to have to adjust on the fly. And I think one of the adjustments I would make is immediately putting McDaniels on Kyrie. That way McDaniels can just, do his thing, try and contain Kyrie. And, Luka's going to hit his shots anyways, but Luka plays at a much slower pace. Like he dribbles slow. He kind of, moves slow. It's weird, but he's going to get his, but I feel like Ant will be less tired guarding Luka than having to guard Kyrie. So that's one adjustment I would hope the Timberwolves at least think about, or at least take it 50-50. Like sometimes Ant can, I guess, be on Kyrie because Kyrie kept the Mavericks in this game in the first quarter. I believe 24 of his 30 came there. And then Luka with big 15 in the last quarter, some big shots down the stretch by them. And the Timberwolves unfortunately just didn't hit them as many. But this was a good game. I think for the Wolves, some more keys. You got to be better boxing out, rebounding, because it seems like Derek Lively was just a monster on the glass today. Rudy Gobert, I love it, takes accountability after the game, but we need him in more because Rudy Gobert was the starter that was a plus 10 in this game. I think that shows because when he was out and they put Naz Reid in, and even though Naz Reid and Carl are great scorers, they just can't protect the rim as well, and Kyrie and Luka were just immediately attacking the rim, and everyone was really. So as much as, people may hate his offense, he's got to be in there because he's your most valuable player, especially in this series, for someone to protect the rim and just force Kyrie Luka to double team or send the double team more. And I like that in a way. They forced, if PJ Washington, great shooter, Derek Jones, good shooters, but you're going to have to make everyone else beat you. Kyrie and Luka are going to get theirs. So I didn't mind the defensive approach, but I hope they really do make adjustments I think they should double more, force other players, just get the ball out of their hands, make Josh Green shoot threes. And you know what? If he hits it, there might be slightly wide open. That's how you're going to have to live. And I hope the Timberwolves just become more aggressive next game. But, Mavericks did some great things well. I think this is going to be a good adjusting period. This game ones for these kind of series are feel them out games. See where everyone's at, and it came down the wire, and Dallas was just more clutch in this one. But, it's only 1-0. I'm not worried. And if people who are worried about home court, I think the Timberwolves have a better – they've won both in Phoenix. They won 3 out of 4 games in Denver while losing 2 at home. So it's – home court really isn't a thing I'm worried about. They've proven they can win on the road. So that's not one thing I'm worried about, he lost home court, so he lost the series. It's going to be a long series. But I'm excited to see how it plays out, what adjustments are made. Main thing, though, on offense, Carl Ant, more aggressive and just better double teaming Kyrie Luka. They're going to make those passes, but, you're going to have to live with some wide open threes from other players because they beat you. That's what you have to do. And it's kind of like what they did with Jokic, and they made, Christian Braun, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter hit threes, and you're going to live with that. No matter how good of shooters some of them are. It's going to be interesting to see, though, what adjustments are made. And I'm excited because if game one is going to be the whole series, just back and forth. I think it's going to be a good series.
Yeah, I definitely underestimated Dallas for sure. I'm pretty sure I said that the Wolves would handle them you know, pretty well after that Denver series, especially. But Dallas came out firing. I'm pretty sure Kyrie had like 24 in the first half.
Yeah.
Their defense played. I mean, their defense played great, and also it's probably has to do with those guys being tired, them just coming off a 7-game series, and maybe in a little bit of emotional hangover. But
I
I think
didn't. Yeah, I was pleasantly sorry to cut you off. I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't see that emotional hangover like I did with Denver in Game 3 when everyone was talking them up after 2-0. They're sweeping the defending champs. They might not lose a playoff game because I believe they were 6-0 at the time.
Mhm.
I just saw a lack of aggression, which I don't like. But I just think the one thing that concerns me is Kyrie, Luka. They've been on deep playoff runs before. As special as Ant is, he's 22, never been in the spot. He just played a long 7-game series. Now you're gonna have to go through war again. Same with McDaniels, Nas Reed. Like, are they up for this? Or even Carl, because he hasn't been in this spot ever in his career.
Right. You gotta find out like who guys are made of, where your real leaders are at in times like this. I mean, it's just one game, so I highly doubt they're, super concerned about it either. They're probably going to make adjustments, like you said, going in the next game to maybe get Ant off Kyrie a little more, so he's not getting as worked on the defensive end, so that
Yeah.
he can make those downhill plays on offense because that is his game. He's not somebody who should be shooting. What did you say?
12
12 threes?
three-pointers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not somebody who
Out
should
of
be.
16 shots, so it's not like he
Right.
took like 26 shots and had like 14
Yeah.
two-pointers. He took 16 shots. 75% of his shots were three-pointers.
This game too, I think, was still kind of an inefficient game for Luka as well. I mean, I know he had a big fourth quarter, but I think he started out like not shooting good. He shot 3 for 10 from 3. So
Yeah, he hasn't shot well from three this whole playoffs.
yeah,
It's kind of been a trend I've noticed, but he hit one big shot late when the Timberwolves were up 4.
Mhm.
But Luka's still going to get his. But I think I really want to see that matchup at least more. I think McDaniels has the ability to just follow Kyrie around more. Just make him tired. Ant was getting exhausted on that defensive end, which is why he was tired on the offense and just kind of jogging behind everyone else. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments make as soon as game 2, because obviously if you're the Timberwolves, you want to tie the series up, head back to Dallas, feeling good off of a win. Dallas obviously wants to go up 2-0 to really put a dent or make the Wolves season in jeopardy. But with that being said, at the end of the day, it's one game.
Yeah.
Game 2 should be exciting. I'm expecting a better Mike Conley game, really inefficient. Nikhil, inefficient. But for Dallas, on their side too, I mean, PJ Washington still didn't shoot great, 2 for 8. He was big in that Thunder series. Derek Jones Jr. didn't do too much. And I think this is going to be a Derek Lively series. He was a plus 19 this game. Was very good in front of the rim, kind of making the Wolves not willing to drive, but they, got to go to the rim, and should be a good series. It's tough, physical, 2 really good defensive teams, which is what I like to see. But yeah, it's fun as a basketball fan.
Yeah. A little side note: are the Wolves making these their new home unis? Because
They've been wearing those a lot more recently.
those are like top 5 in the league if they make those.
Yeah, I love them. They kind of, I noticed like towards the end of the year, like second half, they were wearing these a lot more. Yeah, I think the logo's tough. Just pretty dope. It's like their old like 80s
Right.
logo.
It's like a throwback type of deal.
Yeah, it was like their first logo ever. So it's kind of tough. I like it. And
I like the court too. The court looks nice.
Yeah,
With
it's
the old logo.
I mean, I really do like all their logos though. Like their current one, like just like a wolf is kind of it's a good animal. It's a good like logo.
The Kevin Garnett one was sweet too.
Yeah. I'm expecting hopefully KG to come out for game 2 to get this crowd into it.
Yeah.
He said he's coming out for a playoff game, so hopefully KG comes out to game 2. But yeah, this series is gonna be a dogfight. For anyone that even as some Minnesota sports fan, people get anxious saying like, "Oh, series is over."
No,
It's not. It's not there. It's not like it's one game, guys, and
it was a
it's
back and
not
forth.
like you lost by 35. Like you lost
Yeah.
by 3. It's gonna be this is a feel 'em out game, but you got to come out with a fire because you don't want to lose 2 at home. But who knows? It's gonna be an exciting series. Kyrie and Luca, so one of the best backcourts in the league. So I'm interested to see what happens. But otherwise, as a basketball fan, I know this is great hoops to watch. But with that being said, unless there's anything you want to add on to this.
Nope. Yeah. I wanted to let you have that one. You're obviously the Minnesota.
Timberwolves fans take this one. With that being said, though, got one game, now it's the conference finals. It's going to be 1-1, so it's always going to be one game, one preview. Celtics Pacers tonight. Game 1 was heroic. Epic Pacers choke. Make sure to check that video out if you haven't already. For me, I think this is I think it was one of those games where Indiana just was going to steal one on the road, be fine heading back, but now they blew their chance. I think Boston comes out just better, shooting from 3-point range. Because even though 3-point variance is a tough thing to rely on, they shot pretty poorly from 3. So I'm expecting that to get back up. Indiana will probably get theirs on offense just because they do, but I'm expecting like a Boston 10-point win here, right around where the spread has it for the game.
Yeah. Last game, I mean, going back to like the point about how you said it last episode and just now, the Indiana choke, and yes, they did. They choked. The Celtics should have lost that game. They were in no position to win that game until Indiana gave them that position by, I think, back-to-back turnovers in the last minute. Yeah. But I did hear a good point yesterday that I think last year's Celtics don't make that 3 or don't capitalize on those turnovers. I think this is a different team than that. I think they've got more of that want it type of mentality than last year. Last year they went into the East Finals against the 8 seed, and they're like, oh, we're going to roll them over, and ended up going down 3-0. I think if they get put in that position last year, with 10 seconds left, game on the line, make a 3 to win, I don't think anybody makes it. And another note, as much as I love Tatum, I'm glad they didn't go to him in that spot because of how poorly he's done this year in that spot. And not just 3-pointers, any sort of, last second fadeaway shot. I've said it so many times. I can't remember the last time I saw him make a buzzer beater to either tie or win the game. I think the last one might have been in that first round against the Nets, where it was like the last second layup he hit like around Kyrie or KD or whoever it was to win game 1. I think that's the last time I remember him doing it. But yeah, it might be a game where Indiana just poured all they had into it and ended up not being able to steal one.
That's a demoralizing loss.
Yeah, it is. But at the same time, that's how the way their offense is, they score points, which is going to be either make the Celtics keep up with them or they're going to be able to keep up with the Celtics, however the game's flowing. But
I just think Boston responds better. I think, but there's also a thing like emotional comeback win, like no expected us to win at the end. But the game 2 will tell us a lot about this series. If Indiana keeps it close and wins, I would be like, wow, maybe the Pacers just match up really well with them. But if Boston comes out and dominates, it's just one of those things. Game 1, feeling each other out. But if game 2 is a blowout, then I'm confident Celtics will probably win in 5.
I think the Celtics players know, like, that they got away with one. I'm pretty sure Jaylen Brown said after the game, like, he said something along the lines of, like, we got to play better. Like, and Tatum, I know after the game, wasn't happy with how he shot. He was inefficient again. Knows that if they lost, then it would have looked very bad, and it would have, because he missed like 2 or 3 shots in the last minute that would have put them either within 1 or tied the game. I know he missed a wide open 3 with like a minute left off a turnover, but You got the win, but they know they got to come out and play better. That was really kind of unacceptable shooting wise, and I think they just didn't play good on defense up until the last 2 minutes and into overtime.
Yeah, no, that's going to be the reality of it. Like I said, game 2 will tell us a lot about both these teams, but I'm expecting a Boston somewhat comfortable win, at least definitely compared to last time.
Mhm.
Tyrese Halliburton just awful in the overtime and down the stretch of the fourth.
I want to see Giroux on him more. I'm pretty sure he was like 0 for 5 or 0 for 6 when Holiday was guarding him.
Yeah,
Towards
so we'll
the
see how
end of the game.
Tyrese responds. But, it'll be good. Aaron Nesmith was playing actually pretty well before he fouled out.
Yeah.
He's a good player. But yeah, it'll be exciting. Boston, they're pretty much in winner bust this year. So Indiana's just kind of playing with house money right now. But, sometimes that's just better. But with that being said, thank you guys for listening to our NBA recap. And we'll catch you I know Nick is not going to be around, but I might still do a video tomorrow, recapping the games. And then we'll see you guys, both of us together next week. Thanks for listening.